is we're taking this, and first we had to decide which way we wanted the plant to grow. And since most bulbophyllums tend to grow on the limbs rather than on the trunks, at least from my experience. So this will look like it's coming off of a limb. So when it's hung, it'll sit like this, which will allow it to grow in any direction that it really wants to go. It could grow this way, or it could grow this way. But I think naturally it's more happy this way. Does the owner of the plant like that idea?
I love it.
And I see the way you've mounted those hooks. It really could go either way.
You can go either way.
Yeah.
Where are you thinking right now, Mary?
Like that. Yeah.
Like this? Okay.
Let's just take a closer look in at how you wrapped this, since we sort of skipped over a lot of that, since that was a tedious part of the process.
Okay, I took, this is a grapevine, and it had its natural crack right in here, and then down here. So I decided to use that crack as kind of the line that follows the plant. Just, I
Yep.
don't know, I'm not artistic, so I wouldn't know.
And it's really just about balancing those pseudobulbs so that they look natural.
Correct.
And you can see that in this case that those bulbs are evenly spaced, and it was just about fitting them all together so that your new growth is facing out, your old pseudobulbs are in the center.
Correct. And I use this fishing line, it's 200-pound test fishing line or whatever it is, and that can easily be covered by sphagnum, and it's the same color as sphagnum moss, so it can be decorative any way you want it to be. Now, well, what I'm going to say is you can take a coat hanger and hang it, or you can take more film, yarn, or more of some of that, and then have it so it's looped here, so when it hangs from its center. But it's not touching the plant, so the plant's allowed to just do its thing. And it's plenty moist, had good roots, and I think bulbos, they like sun, but they don't like it really, really hot, because they live in that middle story of the jungles. From my experience, it's experimentation for me, because I never know. My bulbos kind of like it to the west, to the east, getting the eastern sun. And if you wanted to put it on a stool, it could just sit like this too without being hung. And actually, if you really wanted to, you could go this way. So you pretty much got your whole
Lots of options.
options.
I really do wish we had to. Did we take a photo of like when it was in its pot? Because it looked like a totally different plant at that point.
And we have some left over.
We might have had it as we were starting.
Yeah, because it was in this simple plastic pot, and it totally. This is a much better display.
Yeah, and I think plants that are designed, who are naturally want to be on a limb, should be on a limb. And plants that are naturally in the ground should be in, obviously, soil. And things that like to sit this way, they're okay in a pot.
When they're in the crooks of,
Cattleya,
yeah.
because they're in the crooks of the tree. But as you can see over here with some of my other children, this one is done very similar to what we just did.
Yeah, and you could just tell that like
Of course,
that,
the label's lost. I don't know what it is.
that would work very well in a pot as well, because those pseudobulbs are tightly together, whereas
Correct.
the Bulbophyllum is really crawling
Crawling
about.
out. Right.
So it's much harder to keep that in a pot and like keep the old pseudobulbs with it.
Right. Now this one here is much similar to that, only it's in the vertical. This is a Lelea anceps. And most people would take a Lelea anceps and put it in a pot.
Yeah, and in my experience, that is difficult to keep it looking good too.
Yeah. The trick here is to keep it moist enough and yet give it that indirect light. This Lelea, I'm not even sure what color it is. I had one that my father had collected that was absolutely gorgeous, and I made the stupid mistake to take it to a talk in January, and I lost it. I couldn't keep them warm enough. So, and this one actually is on, if you look at it, this is actually on a, it's a PVC pipe, and then I used it's kind of a goo.
Oh, is that foam insulation?
Yeah,
It's not that foam insulation?
foam insulation.
Oh, okay.
And I just kind of sprayed it on, and then I attached the plant to it.
Mhm.
Now, it hasn't bloomed ever, so.
Now, did that need to be weather? Did that need to weather to get it to that patina and to get that moss
Just-
on there?
Just in the greenhouse.
And you didn't add that moss while that foam was still tacky, did you? To get it to sort of
I don't remember.
adhere to it.
I don't think so. It's a good question.
Because it looks just
It
like the bark
doesn't
of a
look like
tree.
it doesn't look like it's been tied on, so it could very well be. This was done quite some time ago. It has bloomed, but I can't tell you much about it. But it does have I love these new roots. It's a happy camper.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up for our mounting demonstration here. And I really think we need to give Sue a very special thank you for letting us use her greenhouse here.
Absolutely.
It is a
Love it.
gorgeous setting on a day like this. There's a lot of little gems tucked away. And hope that we may be able to do some of these more of these videos in the future. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.